I'm excited to talk shop with Justin. I get one of them? Hell yeah, I did. I'm excited to talk shop with Justin. I feel like there's a part of me that wants to like actually start to document all the conversations we're having about sort of just the structure of the subathon. I'm nervous. Like, I'm getting nervous. I think it's also because, like I said before, the only reason the subathon, the joint subathon can happen is because Justin's brain houses all the technical prowess. And so I think I live in enough ignorance of how we're gonna do things that it makes me feel I live in enough ignorance of how we're gonna do things that it makes me feel like borderline uncomfortable, just based on the simple fact that if Justin were to just like call me and be like, nah dude, we ain't friends no more, and just give it up, I would have no recourse and would just have to cancel it, because there's no way I'd learn how to do it all fast enough. There's no way I'd learn how to do all of it fast enough to implement it myself. And I think having that much of it be outside of my control makes me feel like queasy. You know, it's like I can drive. Oh no. I can do an 18-hour road trip if I'm the one behind the wheel, but put me in the passenger seat of an 18-hour road trip, and I start getting car sickness. And I think this is kind of the same thing, where it's just like I feel like I'm just I have very little input as to how I can possibly help get things set up. So I'm just kind of stuck staring out the window and hoping we get there okay. There's really not a whole lot to it past just being live all the time. Sort of. There's a part of me that, like, I feel like once I have a better understanding of how we do baton passing, you know what I mean? Because like there'll definitely be times where it's like, hey, I'm going to Justin and I raid you, and then I go over and I drive to your house and go get groceries or whatever. But then there's like if I'm at your place and I've got my streaming PC set up in that guest room, how do I go from like a watch party? I guess if we do like a watch party on your channel, and then we transition to like, well, I'm gonna be live while I sleep in the other room. How do we do that baton handoff? I don't know. There's little technical things that I don't think are like the end of the world or even all that difficult. But I get nervous because I'm not smart enough to know the answer right off the jump. Who's the big spoon and who's the little spoon? I think Justin would have to be the big spoon. Y'all can do squad streams? I've never really liked squad streams. I have never really liked squad streams. I don't remember if there's anything worth a shit in the shop. Not that it matters, because I have 1 penny, so. Gotcha. Gotcha. It'll pretty much be either you and I are both streaming to our own channels, or if we're sending the same feed because we're just together, it just sends 1 feed to both. Word. Word. Beyond that, like, I know, oh shit. Get the fuck out of here, green flies. There's a part of me that if I took Noah seriously, I'd be stressed out, because Noah was just like, we told Noah the stuff we were thinking about doing, and then Noah came in and was like, I've got 45 other ideas. I shit you not, chat, at one point Noah was just like, what if we hosted a concert? like Noah was like, what if we hosted a live music concert? And I was like, we were like, what are you talking about? And he was like, what if we got Turbo Mansion to play a live music festival style concert? Like, what if we got my friends to play a live concert on the stream and we just surprise chat with it? And me and Justin were sitting there looking at each other like, I don't think that we've tested this. I don't think that we've tested this enough to be super comfortable blasting out a concert, like a fall concert. Pumpkin patch, hay bales, campfire and hot dog concert. If I were meaner, I'd tell Noah I'd find a good band to do it. I wouldn't, listen, I broke him on Galaxy and I feel terrible about it. He and I fought tooth and toenail for like 2 years and we got in a phone call the other night. And I said something about Galaxy, not detrimental. I just mentioned it. I don't even remember why. And like he got real quiet and he just goes, the Galaxy's garbage. And I was like, whoa, no, what have I done? And I was like, it's not garbage, it's just, you know, for a little while you were making it out to be more than it was. And he was like, no, it's bad. And I was like, oh, I'm a monster. I'm a fucking monster. I felt terrible. It is garbage, but I didn't want him to say it. To the point where he was just like, yeah, I had a special occasion with a local friend and I took him to Toast instead. And I was like, no! What have I done? Good. Maybe now Noah can grow up. It feels like Taffy took Santa away from Noah. It does. It does kind of feel like that. I feel like I snatched some like childlike awe and wonder and belief from him. I felt pretty terrible if I'm being honest. That said, I mean, Justin can vouch and like Glitch, Squint Fox, when you guys come back through, we can do the exceptional food tour. You know, I took you guys to Cap Ale, and I took you guys to Sticky Rice. These are not fantastic eateries by any stretch of the imagination. They're just quirky, fun little places that were relatively inexpensive. But that said, if you guys want to do a fancy pants restaurant while you're here, we've got good food in Richmond. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't want to shit on Cap Ale and be like, it's, you know, it's my version of the Galaxy. It's wholly serviceable, and it's got a shitload of well-crafted local beers. I mean a shitload of well-crafted beers. And everything it does is totally fine. I've never gotten something there where I've been like, well, I gotta send this back. It gives me exactly what I want at exactly the price I want, no more, no less. It was a fine enough way to get fed. But there's some, we found out during Nate's visit that there are some resplendent fucking eateries in this place. Was it, Justin said on his stream the other day that, like 3 of the best meals he ever had in his life were during that week, and they all just happened to be within like 4 days of each other. Over 40, what's going on, homie? Also, Tim! And Hully Cat, pleasure as always to see you. Rusty Brazenfire, I was singing your praises earlier. I'm still super grateful for the blender. This is, you know, I know it's just a blender, but it's a blender I've wanted for a while, and I just never gave myself permission to buy it, so I haven't even taken it out of the box. I just like how pretty it looks in the box, so I've just been staring at it on the kitchen counter every time I walk through. It's like leaving my Christmas present out so I can look at it. Once I unbox it, it'll just become a thing I own. But in the box, it's still like it's still like a present. Try very hard to get my family up here. I want to take them out to most of those places. Hell yeah, dude. I hope your mom and grandma like this city. Just based on the conversations that we've had, I mean, like, based on the conversations you've had with your chat about how, you know, Florida was a failed experiment. I hope they would like it here, you know? I think the compromise I've hit is that at this point my mom can fly out for a few days while grandma watches the dog and then they do a baton pass. I feel bad, they're kind of digging their heels in with Florida stuff. Ugh. No, come on, like, didn't you say, like, didn't you say that somehow, and I mean somehow, the property you were in Florida had lost value during the time you were there? It boggles my imagination that that could even be possible. They already lost on one of the houses they bought in 2010. They sold it at a loss. The potential of them throwing good money after bad, you know? Like, just kind of digging in and getting stubborn and potentially just, oh my god. Potentially just throwing good money after bad. That breaks my heart. The idea of it breaks my heart. Range up. I should touch this in case it teleports me out. I'm gonna do that as well. Never punished. That said, because I got Guppy's Paw and those soul hearts, and because I've opened up that explosive chest, I now don't get Compass, which is a bummer. The other they can break even on, all their monies and properties. It's sad to see. That sucks, man. I hope, you know, I hope that they don't get stubborn and just dig in. Very sunk cost fallacy, you know, just throwing good money after bad. That would suck. I would much rather they came up here, lived near you, and you got to take them out to eat at nice, you know, fancy eateries and restaurants and whatnot. Plus, I mean, yeah, you know, there's like, I don't want to say there's not culture in Florida. There's certainly a certain kind of culture in Florida, and there's Disney. You know, but fucking we got Busch Gardens. It ain't Disney World. But outside of a Disney location, it's my favorite amusement park that's not a Disney amusement park. I didn't realize what straight garbage Six Flags was until I went back there as a kid. Yeah. I think I'm kind of already over getting Meat Boys. I guess Bandage Girls in this case. Gotta say, I'm glad the streaming shit worked out because I've been watching my inheritance evaporate. That sucks. Yeah, you know, I'd never wish my parents, I'd never wish ill on my parents, but all of a sudden it went from, oh my god, all of a sudden it went from when they go, I'll get like 100 grand from them selling their house, to like when they go, my parents' house that they bought for $190,000 is gonna sell for potentially $6. It's gonna sell for potentially $630, depending on how much longer they live. And that's, you know, obviously no amount of money would replace my folks. I'll gladly keep them for an extra 20 years and lose most of that if that's a you know, an option. But yeah, that's a weird thing to process, is that, you know, when they do go, that there's, you know, honestly, if one of them goes, I hope that, you know, we can sell the house and just use that money to keep the other one comfortable for a really long time. But they tried to playing landlord, realized there are also losers in that game. Yeah, Miami's definitely got culture. Miami's the city that I learned while I visited it that I would die there. I would not have the constitution necessary to keep from dying waist deep in hookers and blow. I'm pretty sure we were in I'm pretty sure that when we went down there, like, Sam, who at the time was the CEO of 99 Lives, took me down to Miami to talk to our lawyers and to talk to music people down there about signing music to the record label. And I'm pretty sure at one point, we ended up at some musician's place. Oh my god. We ended up at some musician's place. And at like 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm pretty sure he and I were invited to be in like an orgy. But we instead got into our car and were leaving to go back to the Holiday Inn. And this dude whose condo we were at was just like, hey guys, fellas. You guys just gonna leave me here with all these honeys? And I was like, bro, this is the one ring that rules them all and in the darkness binds them. What are you talking about? Yes, we're leaving. It was weird to see Miami from the point of view of somebody, like Sam, who was like really connected in Miami. Like we walked up to a club that on a Wednesday night, called Mansion. The line to get in on a Wednesday night stretched around the block. And Sam walked up, said hey to the doorman because he had played that spot a bunch of times before. The doorman went, Mr. Wilson, and threw the fucking velvet rope back, and we skipped the line and went and stood in the, I'm kind of just getting hit because ultimately I'm tired of not having any damage. We went and stood in the DJ booth in the VIP area.
Of the newest denizen of the cave.
I never spent $1. It was so weird. We were in a place where bottle service was 4 figures. My grandma had about $1 million in the stock market in the late 90s, early aughts. As far as I can tell, she's blown it all on houses in a weird retirement city. Fuck. I looked for 2 years with my wife. We managed to get a very nice house. Had to resist the urge to buy dumps for a bit to get lucky, though. I don't think I'm not a focused enough individual to try to make money in real estate. Aside from, you know, one day I'll sell this house and I'll make some money, but this is the house I live in. One day my parents will pass and they'll sell their house and I'll make money off of that, but not because I'm in real estate, just because I'm lucky to have my parents live where they live. Yeah, it's me, and I finally saved up and I'm in stable work enough to been trying to buy a place I want to live in. I'm trying not to buy a dump. I can't begin to tell you how fortunate I was with this house, man. Like, every other house we looked at was about the same price, but we would have had to have done like 40 grand worth of renovations, like right out of the gate. We would have had to renovate the kitchen. We would have had to have like really renovated the backyard. What we're doing in our backyard, we're really kind of doing as a present to ourselves for selling pretzel. Like, it doesn't have to have it. Our lawn, once we got the fence up, our lawn was fine. There's no grass, which sucks, but it works. It works as a lawn. North Corp Prime Gaming, 53 months, closing in on that 5-year. North Corp, thank you so much, sir. But yeah, even within this neighborhood, the house that we bought was virtually turnkey, and it was the only house that we saw like that. There was another house that we nearly got that had clearly been a flipped property. There was another house we almost got that was clearly a flipped property. And the irony now is that I think it's worth as much, if not more, than this house, which blows my mind a little bit because of the way that place is laid out. And B, I don't think had the same square footage, and that was a yard that was almost exclusively sand. Like, there would have been no, unless I wanted to put down topsoil and sod and really spend 5 figures pulling it together. Like, that was a sandy, really super gross yard. But yeah, I got so incredibly lucky. Like, honest to God, our realtor looked us dead in the eyes when we said we wanted to make an offer on this place, and he said, you're not gonna get it. Basically, because we told him, we're like, we'll ask for it at asking, we'll ask for it at asking price. And he went, you're not gonna get it, but it's my job to put in the offer for you. And then we did the whole cover letter thing, and he was actually legitimately kind of peeved that it worked, but happy for us. I think he was just peeved that his industry was heading that direction of, like, sentimentality helps win bids. Bang on Head says, good morning, everyone. How's life going in the dungeon? Pretty good, I guess. I'm tired, but I think it's just because I'm out of shape. Outer Wilds says a 3.3 gig update. Is that the DLC? Was it Eye of the something? I forget. I went ahead and grabbed Demon Baby because frankly I need any sort of offensive output that I can lay my hands on that doesn't involve me getting hit for 6 on each floor. Honestly, it's surprising to me that the sentiment would be that important to people. I know it wouldn't be to me. I'd just be over here going, show me the money. Well, according to our landlord, I say our landlord, he was also our real estate agent. Our landlord became our realtor, and he took pretty good care of us. He had been a good landlord, so I trusted him to be a good realtor, and I think he did a really good job. But according to our realtor, the people who owned this place, first of all, like, she was an administrative assistant, and he was like a regional bank manager, so they're doing all right. And they sold this place and moved into a house on like the 9th hole of a local country club golf course. So like, this house was like a $250,000, but they moved into a house that was $500,000. And I know that for those of you who live in big cities, these numbers don't mean anything because it sounds like what you pay to have food delivered. But in Virginia, those are pretty nice, you know. Going to a $500,000 home buys you a country club home. The house that we're in is 2,000 square feet, more than 2,000 square feet, and it was $250,000 when we bought it. But they sold this one for $250,000 and went into a $500,000 country club home. So apparently they, like, you know, obviously they wanted to make some money, but they were well off enough that when they had their offers, neat. Bad.
Lock down.
When they had their offers all laid out in front of them, there were like 2 companies that put money out there on the table, and like there were 2 very obscure offers that didn't really mention anything about who they were. And then there was ours, and we had the cover letter with the photos like, we're a family. We're a family. We're not like a Chinese realty company. We're a family. We're the Capses. Hi. We have babies. Our son Rory pulled the sword from the stone at Disney World. He's King Bug. Our son Grayson has fist bumped the mayor of Richmond. And apparently that was enough for them where it was like, it was only a couple grand difference, and they're like, we'll take a couple grand hit. We'll take a couple grand hit and give it to the family. Not even good food delivered like Galaxy Diner food delivered. Summer, what's going on? Welcome. Thank you for joining us today. God, I need to move out of my state so bad. My house was $400,000 when I bought it 2 years, and I think we greatly overpaid. Overpaid? Oh no. But that's the market where I am. That sucks. Yeah, $400,000? Shit, man. Zillow. Richmond. No, I don't want to sign in. Stop it. Richmond, VA. Let's say price. $400,000 to $500,000. Yeah, I mean, depending on where you go, you're getting, you know, 2,000 square feet down by the river. Depending on where you go, you get, you know, 2,000 square feet in a gated community, or like a historic you know, in a historic location. 2 years ago, $400,000, $500,000 in Richmond would have bought you a would have bought you another 1,000 square feet. It's just that the last couple of years of the real estate market really shrunk the gap here, you know. This house has gone up in value like $80,000 in the last 2 years, which is banana balls. We couldn't afford this house if we tried to buy it today. I don't know what exactly got a bee in our bonnet to buy a home at the time we bought a home, but I'm glad as hell we did.
The lovers.
Is that supposed to be Rambo? It's Samson. I think honestly maybe the headband is an homage to Rambo, but I think ultimately it just became that Edmund needed to visually differentiate one character from the next. I want to read chat, but I can't do it in a room that's basically a saw trap. My neighbor told me she sold a house in the middle of nowhere last week, or west of the city last week. She said it was worthless and she couldn't sell it for $50K a few years ago. She got just shy of $200,000 last week. God, what was it? I think it was on Reddit where I saw like a listing, or I saw Not the Onion, and that the housing market is so nuts these days. The housing market's so nuts these days that there was a listing on Zillow for a house that had burned down. Like it had irreparable fire damage, and it was listed on Zillow as is for $400,000. Because the plot itself in the location that it was in was worth that much, basically. Let's see, hold on. Burned down house offered as is. There has to be a news story. News. Nah, I can't find it. I can't find it quickly. But yeah, there was literally a Zillow listing that was a house that had burned down that was offered as is for like $400,000. The value of my mom's Honda she got for Christmas 2 years ago has gone up almost $9,000 because of the chip shortage. Yeah, I think I may have I've either convinced Amber that we're a one-car family for the foreseeable future, or she's not been able to move it forward because I'm dragging feet like an anchor. I have no desire to buy a car, even if it means not buying a car. Whoops. Even if it means not buying a car for a couple of years, I have no desire to overpay by 10 grand for a used SUV or whatever, you know? Buys $400,000 plot, puts $2,000 mobile home on the charred remains of the previous home. But yeah, it was like, you know, I wish I had stopped to see more of the I wish I had stopped and like clipped that or bookmarked it or whatever. It was bananas. It really was just a charred shell of a house, and they were just selling the plot of land. But they were also like, you know, heavily insinuating. God, thank God. I'm excited it's not great. Yeah,
Explosive diarrhea.
They were heavily insinuating that they were just like, whatever, fuck it, you can buy the land and the burnt down house is your problem. Much better financing on new. I mean, initially when we first let off, we got a hold of Galen, our financial planner. We asked him, like, he's our adult. And we're like, Galen, you're our adult. Do we have enough money to buy a car responsibly? And he's like, yeah, sure, if you guys want to. And I think when we started, Amber and I were toying with the idea of, like, I think she initially wanted. Ew. I think initially she was hoping that we would get like a new like hybrid SUV or hybrid minivan, but those things are like, I was thinking maybe 25, 29, maybe. But that's like 35, 45, and I was like, fuck baby, I'm not buying you and the boys a car that is priced the same as the luxury cars I daydreamed about as a kid. I love y'all, but I'm not about to shell out the money necessary to buy you a luxury SUV or you know, close to it. I'll find another key, it'll be fine. PhD's great. Okay, welcome back. Our house was about $380,000 5 years ago. Now it would sell for $550. Yeah, man. I keep dipping back to my parents bought it $190 a decade ago, and now it's worth almost it's worth a little over $6 now.
Luck up.
We looked at a few places in the area that were actually condemned and still $300,000, and a third that was actually a tear down but livable. Jeez. Hybrid cars are a massive trap. How so? I've never purchased a new car before in my life. I've been very lucky that I have generous parents. I wish this was a joke, but it's not a joke. When you're in the theater arts as your major, every vehicle that I've ever owned has been provided to me by my folks. So I've never purchased a car. Well, that's not true. What I have done is Amber and I have gone and paid cash for real shitty minivans that she and the boys have driven around in until she's. And then we've taken the insurance money and then bought new kind of shitty SUVs that we could afford at a couple of grand until she. My mom bought my childhood home for $36,000, sold it after she retired for $650K. Jesus Christ. Have you thought about leasing? You know, it's not a terrible idea. I don't think it's a terrible idea. I want to say that thought crossed my mind not too far back, especially when it comes to like the car that Amber could be using. Leasing wouldn't be a terrible idea. My Mercury's paid off, so I'll drive that until the wheels fall off it. But potentially, yeah, the idea of leasing something for Amber and the boys, and just every couple of years, almost like a phone plan, just trade up and get a new one. Abs, good morning. We don't do a whole lot of driving, and I've had to lay off on the quips because that hasn't happened in years and years. And I found out that I was creating marital discomfort by trying to make light of it. But it also makes me like nervous now because like there are some things that are just straight facts, which was the last couple of times we had to buy cars because of accidents. But I want to be very careful about how I bring that up. How's it going? Same as it ever was. Just another day making the donuts. Just another day in paradise. Mercury, you say? Product placement in country music, you say? Is that a thing? Do country western people drive Mercuries? I wasn't even sure that they made Mercuries anymore. I've always liked my Mariner because it looks so much nicer than it is. It's only like a $25,000 car, but it looks nicer than that. I'm having a donut and iced coffee right now. When I initially read that, I thought it said I'm having a donut in Iceland right now, and I was like, God damn, that's cool. They don't make Mercuries anymore. There you go. driving around in a vehicle that's a collector's item. Leasing's only nice if you know you're not going to drive it. If you know you're not going to overdrive it and not wreck it. Yeah, I mean, you know, I think that would be okay. Really, all that happens is like Amber drives them to like. We started the boys on piano lessons, so the boys are on piano lessons now. Yeah, the boys are on piano lessons now. But like, yeah, like piano lessons, the scouts. Although I think Rory has given up on scouts, which is fine. There's one less thing to pay for. Groceries, like that kind of stuff. Occasionally driving to Norfolk to see my in-laws. So that's about it. We don't really go anywhere. COVID saved us a fortune in gas, but the truth was we barely spent that much to begin with.
This is the story of the newest denizen of the cave.
Co-Lucky tier 1, 42 months. Co-Lucky, thank you so much. Say if they ever get shitty about piano lessons, tell them it'll make them better guitarists someday. The old guitar switcheroo. I love it. I love the idea. 48-hour energy. All right, let me fight this boss real quick, and then I gotta take a little stretch break. I haven't stopped to drink any coffee today, which is weird. I love me some coffee. Just want to pick on the one. Ow. What a weird carom. There we go. I can't pick that up. I don't want to be Judas. So. I can't pick that up. I would like very much, at some point, to have assets in my life valued at over $1 million. That'd be cool. I'm cracking at it. I'm doing the best I can. This is the floor that I have to leave here with the Fool card. I just have to say it out loud to remind myself. We were talking about it with... So we've got a lot of career people who make up this chat. We've got accountants and software engineers and IT folks, lawyers. Long story short, people who will, at the time that they retire, have 7 figures in assets. Maybe not liquid, but for some of you, you will. Some of you absolutely will. I got disheartened a little bit when people were like, yeah, if you just want to full-blown retire, depending on what year you decide to retire, if you just want to full-blown retire, you need to have about $3 million to retire on. And I was like, I never get to retire. I was like, man, things are going really well for me. Mr. 819's doing all right by streamer standards. I'm crushing it. But I don't know what world I live in that I ever have $3 million to retire on. This run needs damage in like a bad way. Thank you, Time and V. Yeah, we're doing okay as far as I can tell. As far as I know, we're doing fine. Crumba says, software guy here getting close to that 1 million retirement accounts. Fuck yeah, dude. That's what I'm talking about. I want that in my life. I'm getting a late start on it. 2 decades of dream chasing and Peter Pan syndrome did me no favors. It's so funny with all the financial data that leaked. There are a lot of people who are just like, yo, let the 20-somethings make their money. They're spending a decade sitting in front of computers playing video games, and they'll have their 30s and 40s, they'll have to try to figure out what to do because they've got no skills on their CV to build up a career. And I was like, I kind of don't have to worry all that much about what's after. I did it backwards. I kind of did it weirdly backwards, where I'm just like, I don't really have to worry about too much about what's after. If I find me some work, it'll just be like, hey, I can manage this restaurant. I'll be a door greeter here. It's fine. God, Kubek, what's going on? Welcome. Yeah, the only thing I'm looking for after this business end is the only thing I'm looking for after this is the business end of a shotgun. Saucy, welcome. Mrs. and I are looking at buying an unfinished cabin in Berkeley Springs dirt cheap because of the interior labor it needs. Tabby, I thought you meant the Twitch leak of streamer incomes, not the other one. Yeah, no, that's exactly it. What's the other one? No, that's what I'm talking about. Is like people who are pissed off that streamers make money. Not even a lot of them. That a couple of streamers make money. We're basically saying like, yeah, well, they're not gonna have any like job skills afterwards. And I was like, I didn't have any job skills coming in. I don't have to worry about my 20s and 30s. I've already pissed those away. Oh god, yeah, the Pandora Papers. Yeah, you don't have to worry about finding me on the Pandora Papers chat. In the UK, I'm being told the offer's in about 15K over asking because that's what's happening in the bidding wars. Yeah, no, generally speaking, dude, I heard a great NPR story the other day. Speaking of spooky season, I heard a great NPR story the other day that was a couple looking for a house in the DC area were getting real disillusioned about how combative the real estate market is. Said that at one point they had even seen a fist fight break out at an open house. And so they said they'd been looking for about a year and had become basically professional shoppers because of how much time and effort they had put into trying to find a house. So one came up and they saw it and they're like, yeah, we'll take a crack at this one. But they wanted to know what potentially could be wrong with it because the price seemed low for the neighborhood. So the lady said she had become a crack investigator. And she went and she looked for covenants and she went and looked for liens or easements. She went and found the people who made the deck and found the permit for the deck to make sure that it was all above board. They put in an offer and they got it at slightly below asking. She said that she hadn't really looked up the neighborhood or anything because she didn't want to like fall in love with it in case they didn't get it. She got it slightly below asking, and at that point her and her husband like really kind of got suspicious. And they're like, well, what's wrong with it? The house looks great. It should have gone over asking. I don't understand what could possibly be wrong with it. So they went, to go see the house they had purchased and really kind of like take the magnifying glass to it and figure out what could possibly be wrong. They found out once they moved in, it is the house in which the real life event on which the Exorcist movies were based took place. They found out that they had purchased the real life Exorcist house. The movie itself was based on an account of a DC area boy whose family claimed that he was the victim of demonic possession. And they apparently genuinely checked to see whether or not hauntings or demonic possessions were a reason you could back out of purchasing a house. And found that it's not. But apparently, once they moved in there, they kind of realized that in their opinion, there's nothing weird about it beyond the rumors. And once they got past that, it would appear they are very... A, they're so thrilled. They're so thrilled that they got a house under asking price. And B, they just don't see enough there to make them feel like they should be genuinely concerned. That they're apparently completely leaning into it now. And so this year, the husband is getting them Catholic priest outfits for Halloween. And he's gonna get like a big Bluetooth JBL speaker and just push The Exorcist OST out into the neighborhood while they give away candy. And they asked them, like, if they had a last piece of advice. Like, is there any advice you would give people who are searching for houses in this market? And they said, yeah, in the market in which we find ourselves, you guys should not overlook the haunted properties. That's right, you can possess me sometimes. You guys can live here, but you can't live here rent-free. Sorry, Demon Bros. That's how the demons get you. You're so comfortable that you taunt them and then they rub their hands together and say, this is gonna be fun. Dude, Snakebin, that reminds me of like Amber asked me what my schedule was last night. I think she was just kind of like, you want to watch TV or hang out or whatever? And I was like, yeah, I'm just watching. I was like, I'm just watching football, tending to social media like it's a garden. You know, checking out YouTube, you know, checking out Reddit, talking to people on Discord, doing the stuff that I gotta do to. Doesn't matter. Doing the stuff that I gotta do to manage everything. I really don't think I get any more. I might get one more, but I kind of want, like, I want Guppy if I can get it.
The fool.
And she said, okay, well, baby, just know that if you want to, like, watch a movie or whatever, just, like, come get me out of the office. And I said, all right, but realistically, sweetheart, all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sit in my office until I either get too tired to keep my eyes open anymore, or I get that all too familiar feeling like my brain is trying to eat itself. And then at that point, I'll force myself to go to sleep. I was like, yeah, that's usually when I check out. I usually check out about the time that my brain, like, feels like it's starting to try to eat itself. You know, honestly, Nom Nom Freshman says, why would demons go back to the same house? Honestly, one of the things that the lady did that she said brought her a weird sense of, oh, okay, I guess I'll just get hit hard. That brought her a weird sense of, like, closure about the whole thing. I genuinely don't have the strength necessary to kill these guys without taking out this first fucking asshole. You're only making me stronger every time you hit me, you buttholes. She actually went and did research on demons and was like, oh, okay. Like, she's like, oh, okay, don't worry about it then. Demons don't haunt structures, they haunt people. And those people aren't here anymore, so I guess we're fine. And I was like, damn, this housing market's fucked up. This housing market is fucked up. That's how people are thinking about it.
The sun.
I guess, man, these have been real weak. I mean, look at this. This is our entire items list. That's wheat sauce. That's not great, you know? That is not great. Is what it is, I suppose. If nothing else, I'm gonna get the shit kicked out of me every time I go into a room, so I guess it's okay. Because eventually I'll get canned. I was really hoping that it wouldn't do this to me. I'm probably fine. Right? I probably don't need to re-roll the run. I don't know where I'll get another syringe, but I do have some items that aren't doing shit all, man. PhD's not gonna do a whole lot more. I guess, like, if I get rid of PhD, I still get to keep the tears upgrades that it gave me. The thing's fucking invincible. I don't know why I'm sitting here trying to kill it. Mulligan's good. I'd be sad to see Mulligan go. Bum friend is throwing live spiders at me. I'll miss that when it stops happening. They grow up so fast. Fucking range. I'm gonna get fucking roughed up in here, man. I don't have piercing. Evil Eye's kind of just okay. Today I learned I can't run through that chain. I would lose my ability to generate health. So what you see, potentially I'd lose my ability to generate health. What you see is what you get, really. Demon Baby is not that big a loss. Multi-dimensional Baby is not that big a loss. Explosive Diarrhea, you say? I caught it! Yeah, we got a bunch of real mediocre items. I don't know, man. One awesome item? Mulligan? I think Mulligan's fucking dope. I love Mulligan. These guys are so much easier when you can hit them with piercing tears. I don't know, man. I need you to come back over here. Thank you. Little butthole. There we go. Very scary. I guess I don't lose the ability as Samson. I don't lose the ability as Samson to generate damage when I get hit. The Gust thing, which gives you attack speed. Every time we get hit, it gives us attack speed. I love Mulligan. I don't know. Let's give it a shot. We got Parasitoid. We got the... Oh my god, hold on. Doink. Psyfly, no! It should have been the stupid baby. It should have been you or you. Psyfly burned too bright for this world. Let's go see what else we could potentially buy in here. I think this is a better build. Yeah, you know what? I think I can get there. Oh, this re-rolled everything. Except that. Except that! I get one more penny. And I kept, yeah, I kept the Gust thing, so every time I get hit, I'll get a tears upgrade. And I plan on getting hit so much. I do like keys. What did I not pick up in here? And then this became keys, but I still can't fly, so it doesn't matter. Alright, yeah, man, I'll go ahead and say that this was a definitive step up. Smelter, you know. Why? How many trinkets do I really think I'll see? Oh, that's true. I do have money equals power. Alright, well. Now I have Binky. We'll keep our eyes peeled for more money. Law Thriller, what's going on? Cletus, greetings and salutations. That reminds me, I've got so much to do. I gotta get all the playthrough stuff uploaded. Do I have more? Do I have the end of,
Spent it. It's gone.
the
Just
end of
get
Outer
over
Wilds?
it.
What do you mean? What do you mean it's gone? How can you have spent our savings?
I've got do I have the end of Outer Wilds and, is it Ori and the Will of the Wisps going? Outer Wilds has been great to watch. I'm glad you're enjoying it. I loved that game so much. Oh, that's right. Every time I get hit, health doesn't come back anymore. I gotta be real careful. Bad time when you're talking about how much stuff you need to get done, but Liz is in town. I think we're gonna grab drinks nearby if you want to join. Potentially, but probably not. I like Liz very much, and I like you very much. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. I don't know. Let me see if maybe I can get a whole bunch of stuff done quickly after stream's over today. Yeah, the end of Outer Wilds and 2 of The Last of Us. I'm gonna guess that's The Last of Us? The Last of Us. Ori, I'm getting done today. Word. Oh, $3 bill, what's going on? Oh, yeah, $3 bill. What do you know? Dude, what I wouldn't give to sleep for 12 hours. I wish I streamed at night. I mean, like, I'd have those days where, like, I'd wake up and just go straight into the office and stream. I'd have days where I'd go straight into the office and stream, and I'd be like, oh, what have I done? Like, my entire day's just gonna be streaming. But, like, unless I go to bed while the sun is setting, I almost never have the option of sleeping for more than about 8 hours. If that. That's if I go to bed, like... That's if I go to bed before I'm tired and when I just feel like, man, I gotta go to bed to be a responsible adult. What all you guys got for me here? Nothing. Nothing to speak of. Let's try this. Sleep's so great. I love sleep. I wish I was better at it. Let's just grab these real quick, and then we'll grab the explosive diarrhea. Oh, nope, never mind. We'll grab the chariot card. Let me see. Yep, starter deck. I have starter deck, as it turns out.
He's self-destructive and disturbed, just like his father. Look at who he has to look up to. And you're drunk again, aren't you?
Shut up, Maggie! Shut up! You just keep pushing me like this. I'm leaving.
Good, leave! We'll be fine without you. Abandon us like you've abandoned yourself.
My body seems to naturally want to go to bed around midnight, and there's just no way when you're supposed to start stream at 8:30 in the morning. I say supposed to because let's be honest, it's more noticeable when I start stream on time than when I start stream like 5 minutes late. When you're supposed to start stream at 8:30 in the morning, it is difficult to go to bed around midnight or 1 and not wake up and feel sluggish when you're 41 years old. Yeah, I used to start at 8, but then so many people bitched about me being 5 minutes late that I moved the entire stream a half hour back. And now I still very frequently start about 5 minutes late. But people stop bitching about it or else the show would eventually start at noon. wish I hadn't been hit there. Can we all just agree that the day starts at noon? I really, like, every time I see somebody who starts their stream at like 4 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 8 o'clock at night, I'm like, oh, I'm a fool. Why did I pick the mornings? Taffy being super petty about it. I was in a bad headspace. I genuinely think I was in a headspace when all that went down, where I was convinced I was a bad streamer. I was convinced I was doing a very bad job at this, and it was all just playful ribbing at the hands of a handful of viewers. But I was too locked up on just like, oh, yep, these are the people who start the horns of dissent. The horns of dissent that remove me from this throne of lies. This is how my French Revolution begins. So I got real sensitive about it.
You need to repent. You need to confess your sins and become saved. Let his light inside you cleanse your soul.
are insane. You are taking this too far. Did you hear the sound?
Pray with me. Pray for your salvation.
I forgot we left the nail behind.
Pray with us, Isaac.
Conic, what's going on? So what you're saying is you're jealous of Gooderness? Why wouldn't I be? One of the best huggers on the planet. Tremendous emotes. Yeah, Wyatt, like honestly, I can go to bed. I'm in the same boat, man. I go to bed and I feel motivated where I'm just like, I'm gonna go to sleep. I'm gonna wake up. We're gonna go to the gym. We're gonna have some coffee. We're gonna drink water. We're gonna hydrate. All those things live inside me, and as far as I can tell, they're true. As far as I can tell, they're true. And then I wake up in the morning, and every morning when I wake up, I feel like while I was sleeping, somebody was hitting me with a hammer. I never feel like truly good when I wake up in the morning, to the point that like even my in-laws, when I go to visit, my mother-in-law will fix breakfast and say, like I'll come out of the bedroom, the guest bedroom, and my mother-in-law will say like, hey Ryan, I know you don't talk much in the mornings, but here's some coffee and know that we got bacon and eggs on the way. Because like even my in-laws know that it's like useless to try to communicate with me. If I wake up at 8, you really need to not talk to me till like 9 or 9:30. And it's not like I'm not mean. I just really, I don't want to speak. My head's fuzzy and it kind of hurts. And I'm just like, I'm trying to get myself in a functional state of mind. That's called just getting old. That's what I'm saying. But I've been like that since my 20s. Just keep in mind that isn't motivation, that's hope. Motivation is the compulsion to stand up the moment you need to get something done. I don't understand it. I'm trying to process that. The old man arc is starting. I feel like I've been an old man for a while now. I will say that like I was talking about this the other day, that the gym is so much harder these days. I used to be so much more elastic. Oh, okay. And now just the simple act of getting out of bed is incredibly difficult, let alone going to the gym and doing stuff. I was really hoping like something cool would pop off there. Did you get the Google Chrome extension that shows channels, leaderboard rankings, and their names? I can't stop laughing about it. I know that it's out there. I'm getting a little bit leery about like, I don't want Twitch to punish me for making light of the situation, or for potentially accidentally sharing information that I shouldn't share. I think it's hilarious though. There's a part of me that keeps wanting to tweet asking Twitch when we're going to get updated leaderboards for that new feature they unlocked. But I'm worried as somebody who is currently receiving I'm worried as somebody who's currently receiving a contract that they might get pissy about it. Yeah, Mr. Drop the Soap, that was me. Sadly, I finally went viral in the Isaac community, and it was because I got killed less than a second into spawning in. Like the fastest Isaac death you can possibly have that's not on purpose. Sadly, that was me. I'm only doing these other rooms because I'm trying to get my hands on money in game for money equals power. You think they're gonna come down on you, Mr. 819? Listen, man, I know it's a huge violation of privacy, and I know that for some people it created massive headaches. That fucking data leak was one of the best things that's ever happened to me. What an incredibly, like, first of all, what an incredibly terrifying notion that only a handful of people are, like, truly, only a handful of people are making grown-up money on this platform.
Where are you going? Wait! We need you! Your son needs you!
I'm doing more harm than good. I just can't do this anymore. I'm sorry.
Please don't leave us!
I'm sorry, Isaac.
So it was a very, like, painful awakening that there are truly only a handful of people who are making grown-up money on this platform. But I was incredibly gratified to realize that I'm one of them. There's about 1,000 people really doing well on this platform. And I am giddy at the prospect that I'm one of them. That was really, really bad damage to take. Why? Why? You little invisible fucker. You kicked my bomb back at me? Whose team are you on, you asshole? I'm gonna go out here and just watch you die. You'll get no help from me. Yeah. That's a fate you deserve, you idiot. Better late than never on petrified poop, I suppose. Yo, Reg, what's going on, man? It's so funny. It, like, the data leak, if it taught me anything, it's that we do truly live in a day and age now, especially now, where people will very willingly just see whatever they want in statistics. It's bad. You know what I mean? Like, I'll take the devil card with me. I think there's a lot of different takeaways from that information, right? Like one of them is holy shit, do the people at the top do really well. I think the next takeaway is there are not a lot of people at the top. And then I think the next takeaway is even in the top 0.1%, there's only like less than half of them are making a living wage, even at the very top of the mountain. Like the drop off is so fast and so precipitous. And yet you got people in like Reddit forums and stuff like that going like, these streamers make too much money, they don't even provide a service. I'm so sick of seeing all of these pampered millionaire streamers. And I'm like, wait, what? There's like 9 of them. There's like 100 streamers on the planet that are millionaires. 819 is what he is at now. The goal is to get him to 500. I'd take that. I'd take that. Motivation's a reflex, a discipline. I feel like you have that discipline while preparing for what you do, comfy in your bed, but really it's planning to be motivated. You aren't truly using your motivation until after the event comes up and you succeed or fail. That makes sense. That's a much deeper dive than I anticipated going on, but that makes sense. I'm jelly of whoever 1333 or 1337 is. I don't know. Somebody would have to have that information in front of them and open to look up 1337. And I don't know what kind of petty individual would do that. Reportagen is 1337. No, sorry. Cruel Lad K is 1337. Cruel Lad K. Who's 4269? Damn, there's a couple of people with 4269 in their name. Weston Corey. Reg, do you have any insights on when Twitch plans on updating the leaderboards? Any insights on when Twitch is thinking about updating these leaderboards? It's a feature. It's a feature, not a massive data leak. Yeah, okay, open source codes. Open source codes being leaked. SDK is going out. That's pretty bad. But the leaked finances is just a leaderboard. That's all that is. That's a feature. I have unlocked Samson. Mr. Streamer, that's Cruella DK. Whatever, my eyesight's bad. I can't see all the way down there. The Twitch leak is so funny to me, how people are freaking out over the earnings of some streamers and not the fact that hackers got the source code of the entire platform and can do whatever the hell they want with it now. Oh yeah, they've essentially made Twitch open source, which is fucking scary. The High Priestess. Yeah, I guess I'll take it. Be ready for it. It's not a leak, it's a feature. That shit made Hassan's life a living hell, so I can't imagine that everybody would go along with that, but it would be kind of fun. Yeah, Critical Role all of a sudden was dealing with a whole bunch of bullshit they should... Oh, okay. A very narrow window you gave me to fit in there. Today I learned those bullets can't hurt you until they make the laser between them. Yeah, Critical Role was dealing with a whole bunch of horse shit they shouldn't have had to deal with. Yeah, Critical Role's a team of like 40 individuals. I tell you what, I'll get one of these people who are griping about Critical Role's income. I'll give them $9 million and tell them to make a show of the same caliber over 2 years and see whether or not they finish in a deficit or in a surplus. Be like, you gotta pay everybody a fair wage, you gotta have high production values and world-class talent. You gotta make a show that happens like once a week for 2 years and keep everyone highly motivated and involved, and then compensate them fairly, and you tell me that $9 million pre-tax is enough. Yo, could you stop with this? That'd be cool. I feel like the last couple of days, bosses have been aggressively leaning into their shittiest attacks. Yeah, I'm glad you're dead. Yeah, Critical Role, a company with a full crew and studio. Yeah, Bubba Duo, people will latch on to any opportunity to shit on other people. You're not wrong. It's bad timing too, because they were catching shit for being slightly more corporate than before. God forbid anybody transitions doing what they're doing from a glorified hobby to a paying gig. Oh, also, yeah, also start a board game company and a non-profit charity during those 2 years using the same resources. Yeah, if you split it evenly, it's 75 grand a year to all those people in Los Angeles. And an animated show. Missed the end of the run? No, we got more. Thankfully, the end of this run's like a half an hour long. The Devil. The fruits of the Devil. Ah! I wasn't prepared. Or you could stop, you know, throwing it out there. Having a hard time tracking myself and all that. Is 75 grand enough to live on in LA? Not. I've never lived in LA, but I'm gonna say not comfortably. It depends on, certainly not lavishly. That's bad. Not lavishly. By any stretch of the imagination. Hell, you'll still very much have to pick and choose. Is it worth it to you to like cook everything that you eat? Or own a car. With roommates, yeah. With roommates, yeah. If you had roommates, but we're talking about like, yeah. I don't know, man. That's a lot of people out there who seem to be against like a lot of people out there who seem to be against like a lot of people out there dreaming of becoming millionaires and billionaires, but when they see like success land on anyone else, they get real against it real fast. I think if this was the old nail, I'd be okay. The new nail makes this really difficult. Can't believe I didn't get hit there. A lot of people out there seem to be, I don't know, upset that for some people work doesn't look as much like it's like. There's a lot of people out there who seem to act as though work's only work when it doesn't look like it's fun. They get really mad when they see people appear to have fun doing their job, and then be compensated, in an enviable way for it. I don't get it. Right, if you're gonna get a paycheck, you have to suffer. Some 1950s style, 1950s style capitalism for you. If you don't feel soul weary, are you really working? If you don't hate your boss, are you really working a career?